Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon and welcome back to Microsoft World of Flight. Today's guide, Laura the Flight Instructor. Let's get started.
Boy, we sure got a strong breeze today. Makes for good crosswind landing practice. Oh, and some of these students sure need it. Hi, I'm Laura. I understand you're interested in learning to fly. Well, before we go up for a demo flight, why don't I show you around so you can learn a little bit about general aviation? Just click the start button and I'll give you a quick tour. Just about anyone can learn to fly. Don't let anyone tell you you've got to have the right stuff. Sure, it's hard to get some of the advanced ratings, but I've helped lots of people get a basic private pilot's license. It's not quite as easy as learning how to drive a car. You have to learn about weather, regulations, that sort of thing. But you know, most people make their first solo flight after about only 12 or 15 hours of practice. Even though there's lots of fancy instruments and radios in today's airplanes, every airplane's got the same basic controls. They really haven't changed much since the old days when pilots rode right out on the wing. At least these days you don't have to pick the bugs out of your teeth after every flight.
That's good.
Here, let me show you. You got a wheel or a stick to bank left and right and point the nose up and down. Down there at your feet are the rudder pedals. That's the hardest thing for most new students, learning to use their feet. I spend half my time as an instructor telling them, more right rudder, more right rudder.
And roll.
You see, flying really isn't that complicated. Wings are really pretty simple. All they do is make low pressure on the top and higher pressure below. And all that stuff you've heard about stalls and spins, well, unless you're doing serious aerobatics, they're really pretty tame. These days, most airplanes, when you get them into a stall, they just mush around a bit. The nose drops and you're flying again. No more exciting than driving over a pothole. After about 50 or 60 hours of practice, most people pass their private pilot check ride and could start going places on their own. And a lot of people still buy airplanes, just like a lot of people have boats or RVs. There's all kinds to choose from. You can get one that feels like a big old station wagon or find something sportier. Personally, I love checking people out in the old biplanes from the 1930s. Those were pure flying machines. If a regular airplane is too expensive, you can always try ultralights. In some countries like the US, you don't even need a license to fly them. But most people get some training anyway. An airplane's an airplane, Anyway, these little machines are a lot of fun in the summer. I know some pilots who like to take them up in the winter, but the wind chill factor gets a little brisk, if you know what I mean. Most of us in general aviation, now that's everything except the airlines and the military. We learned to fly in Cessnas. You've seen them all over the place, I'm sure. 150s, that's a little two-seater. 172s, Skylanes, oh, they're like the family car. Easy to fly, pretty economical. Some people turn their noses up at Cessnas, think they're not flashy enough. But they really get the job done.
Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that, thought I heard something.
That's not to say anything bad about Pipers. But back before World War II, almost everybody learned to fly in a Cub. Delightful little plane. They're probably still making them. They say they're going to shut down the production line every year, but they keep coming back. Bush pilots swear by them. I've seen Cubs get in and out of places that helicopters have trouble using.
I can imagine.
Now, if you're looking for a real cruising machine, it's hard to beat a Mooney. Old Al Mooney really knew how to squeeze performance out of an airplane. His airplanes were always just a bit faster, horsepower for horsepower, than anything else in the sky. Now, don't get me wrong. This flying business isn't all just fun and games. There's a serious side, too. Every year, too many people learn lessons the hard way. The truth is, most accidents aren't caused by mechanical problems. It's like out on the highways. People don't pay attention, make bad decisions, or they push things a little too hard. I spend most of my time trying to teach students to use good judgment, not how to handle the controls. For a lot of students, flying's not just a hobby. They want to go to work for the airlines. A lot of them get started flying corporate aircraft like Learjets. Not a bad way to make a living. Me, I love teaching. Look, while I check out the plane, why don't you click that button with my picture on it and take a tour with another guide? I'll see you later.
And that was Laura. Anyway, I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay straight.